I don't know if y'all can hear me with my mask on, but we in here COVID-19 and all. Champs mentoring group, what's going on? Your boy Hot Rod Power 92, man, welcome. Big shout out to my brother DJ Ace. Let me see the shoe. Y'all holding out. Woo, fire. I need these in the roll pedals on the. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna put this right there. We're gonna vibe out a little. I wish I could see the comments right now.
Hello, my name is Rhonda Hops, and I have the honor of being the Executive Director of the Comer Education Campus. The Comer campus is comprised of the Gary Comer Youth Center and Noble Street's Gary Comer College Prep High School and Middle School. And our mission at this center is to help young people become well-rounded global citizens who are ready for their college and careers. Because of that mission, I cannot tell you how excited I am to welcome you all to this Chat and Chew with the Crew conversation about the documentary called A Most Beautiful Thing. So I love everything about this documentary because it speaks to what we do here, which is positive youth development. The idea that you take a young people, what they have to do academically during the school day, and you wrap services and experiences around that academic foundation to help them broaden the horizons for what they are capable of in the world. On the Comer campus, we do that every day. And this year, it was more important than ever. With the global pandemic, our community was very hard hit, and we wanted to make sure that our young people did not lose a year, and they didn't. We had the academic supports, and we continue to have enrichment programs in the arts, sports, as well as youth employment and extra fields that people don't typically think about with the youth center, such as our STEM-based agricultural program and culinary programs. With all of those things in mind, we stepped up and served the community in a big way through sending home materials for young people to use at home for their enrichment programming, as well as for serving meals, free produce to help their families make it through these really challenging times. We're excited about that work and wanted to continue going forward. Please keep in touch with us by going to our website, comereducationcampus.org, and you can follow us on social media that way. With that, I want to welcome you. I want to welcome Champs, our host for today, members of the Champs Mentorship Program, members of the South Shore Drill Team, another major partner on the campus here, and our Gary Comer Youth Center members as well, and enjoy this conversation. Thank you.
I'm good, bro. I'm good, man. I got all my brothers here. Like I said, we were putting in a lot of work, y'all. I see y'all got the Fila exclusive Chicago joints on. Shout out to our family. Woo! Hey, we gonna show everybody a close-up. We gotta show everybody a close-up before everything is said and done. I got all of the brothers here. I'm looking in my crowd. I just gotta check and see. We got tons of special guests. We got the one and only Lil Bit Saucy. She will be giving us a live performance as well.
Yeah. She definitely coming with that sauce.
Hey, she definitely is. She gave us a little bit of it during rehearsals. We also got NBA legends that will be joining us today. Dwayne Wade, Horace Grant, Grant Hill. Y'all, we got a lot in store for y'all, man. Hey, my brothers, what's up, man? Y'all here to introduce somebody. What's up? What y'all got going on?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We are the Jordan twins. You know, that's Josh, and I'm Josh, and we are the Jordan twins. We want to welcome everybody to the Chat and Chew with the Crew. Conversation about the award-winning documentary about the first ever black high school on team. We got some very special giveaways, but before we do that, we're gonna introduce somebody. Y'all know him on Instagram and Snapchat and all that. And we got a $20 gift card, $30 gift card. But before we get into that, we got a special co-host that we're gonna introduce y'all to. Some of y'all may have known him by his slang, Oh God.
On God. Man, how many of y'all is hungry out there? I'm starving. I ain't even gonna hold you. But look, if you out there and you feeling famished, I might have a little blessing for you. So Pete, for those who don't know me, my name is Corporate. And I want to thank everyone for joining us on this Saturday morning. It's Black History Month, and we want to celebrate those who paved the way for us. As the Jordan twins mentioned, we have some very special giveaways, so make sure y'all stay in tune. I hope everybody ready to eat. In the chat, we about to release the link for you to fill out your information, your name, your email, your age, and your organization. We're going to need you to make sure to check your email and make sure you able to download the DoorDash app. Type your code and make sure you also take some selfie pictures of you with your food and tag at Champs Mentoring on Instagram. And the best 10 pictures is going to get a very special and significant gift. On God.
Yo, it's your boy Redwell, official host for the NBA WNBA, here with my girl Connect the Stars.
What's going on, y'all? I am the management team of corporate. We got Skin Bone, Lyrical Vote, Sherry J, and Lil Tiff. We here, y'all. Let's get it.
Hey, we need you to jump in the chat right now. We're finna do a giveaway on behalf of Fila and some of our sponsors. So I need you to get in the chat. Tell me your shoe size, your shirt size, all you size 15, size 4s, 4.5s, B-Nas, whatever you got. Throw it in the chat. We need to get it popping on this giveaway. What's up?
Now, ladies, do not let the fellas beat you to it. Make sure y'all put y'all sizes in there as well. We here to represent, okay? Let's go ahead and win some of these. Let's put
some of these, but not some of these. 96 Grant Hill in the building. What's up?
Make sure that you definitely go ahead and y'all do it right now. Y'all drop. Hey,
I need to see you dropping the sizes. No size 9 because I wear size 9 and you ain't getting it. What up?
Ladies, all I'm saying is make sure that you go ahead and put your bid in. I like to call y'all out. Is any names, ladies? I see you in here. Go ahead. Make sure that y'all go ahead and drop those sizes in the chat. Let's go ahead and win.
Shout out to the exclusive road team. We got them exclusive Fila straight from Chicago. You know what it is. Drop that size. Let's go. Corporate, Skin Bone, Lil Tiff. What's up?
Corporate, where he at, though? Where he at?
Where's my boy? Hot Rod, what's up? Give me some music. Let's dance. Let's party.
A little bit.
Let's turn up. This Chicago, you.
Oh, turn up. Well, we just vibing with it.
Do your thing.
Hey.
Backhand bounce.
Hey, I love to be able to give a giveaway right now. Man, drop those sizes right now. Make sure y'all get these exclusive felines. Because if not, I'll take them.
Or I'll take them. Remember, you can't get them anywhere but here. So drop your size right now. Size 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got all of them available, but we need you to drop that size in the chat. If you want some exclusive felines, only here in Chicago. Got the flag on the bottom. You know what it is.
We definitely appreciate that, y'all. Make sure that y'all say big ups to Champs, the mentoring. They are doing such great things in the city, y'all. Make sure that we're doing this for y'all. So y'all go ahead and drop those sizes in the chat.
This is for Chicago. We all in. Champs. Vondell, what's up? Thanks for having us. Thanks for bringing us on. It's all love.
Appreciate it, y'all. All right, and again, corporate, where my boy at? I can't see him, but I miss you. I know we out here quarantining, so y'all make sure y'all kiss some love to corporate in the building, y'all. Make sure y'all.
I'm standing right next to you. You never said you miss me. It's all good.
Make sure y'all love him too. At Redwell. Make sure y'all follow him. Matter of fact, go ahead and get him.
Do that.
Pump it. So if y'all don't win, hit him up. Let him know y'all want y'all shoes.
It ain't my fault. I took your shoes. It ain't my fault.
He's so extra, y'all.
Yeah. Drop your sizes though. Drop your sizes. You can't win.
Hey, Tiff, I see you in there. You dropped your size? Hey, let's make sure, y'all. All right. What's going on? Let's see. Can we check these shoes out? Is it okay if I grab one and let them see?
Grab one. Try it on. You look like you wear size 14.
First of all, sir, I actually wear in men's a 4.5. However, we'll make this work. Listen, y'all. Look
long shoe.
First of all, look at just the bottom. I would just rock this just for the bottom alone. Matter of fact, y'all got my size. Where's my shoe?
Let me get the other one.
Anybody? Come on, who don't? Come on, y'all. Win these. Win.
I would rock these for the bottom alone. You see the stars. Chicago. This is for us.
You know what? That's okay. But you see, he just pinky and brain me. But that's okay. Come on.
That's what we do. We work together. Go ahead. Show them the bottom. Now show them the side.
Oh, hold on. This side.
I don't think they got your size. Is this my size? Look in the inside.
No, this not your size. Is this my size?
You don't even know what size I wear.
I do. How many shoes have I given you? Like, we do get. Come on.
This is my size. So if you don't drop your size in the chat, I'll be taking these home.
Make sure. Ladies, I am here for you. Do not let these fellas walk around with these exclusive kits. Y'all don't get your hands on. Make sure you're dropping your size in the chat, ladies. Let's get it. Come on, let's go.
Exclusive. Look at the row. Can I get a close up on the row? Can you guys see the row? Exclusive felines, only here for Chicago. Stars on the bottom. You know how we represent.
I'm loving these. Rod, make sure you. What's your size? We gotta put them to the side.
Rod, I don't think we got your size. Wow.
Super dope. But again, we serious. We are doing this here for you guys. We want to make sure that you are safe, Chicago. We are doing anything and everything to make our streets better. Please log in. Tell your friends to log in. Go ahead and put your size in the chat so that we can go ahead and give y'all these dope exclusive shoes.
Exclusive.
For the spring.
Exclusively for Fila.
At this time, we would like to give a shout out to our sponsors of this great event that we prepared for you guys. So number one, hey, we got to give a shout out to Pepsi. Hey, Pepsi, thank you for everything that you were doing for us. Hey, definitely shout out to Fila for these kicks, man. Hey, 50 Eggs Films, man. Hey, thank y'all. Special guest, thank you to DoorDash. Hey, we love it. We feel it. Let's go. We definitely want to give a shout out to our Chicago Bulls. Hey, thank you for everything that you're supporting us with. And also, man, let's give a shout out to William Blair. Hey, for all the things that you do for us. And let's give a shout out to Gary Comer College Prep, Gary Comer Youth Center, and we cannot forget My Brother's Keeper Chicago. Hey, we appreciate you guys. And last but not least, hey, we got to make sure we show love to Champs Mentoring. Hey, we doing it for you guys. But at this time, hey, we definitely want you guys to go in the chat right now. Fill out the form where you can get your food. Hey, let us go ahead and type it in. Type it in right now. You know what time it is. It's in the chat. Let's go ahead. Let's get that. Let's get that food. Let's get that food. But right now, we definitely want to, before we bring our next performance, performer, we got to bring out somebody. Hey, somebody from the South Shore Drill Team. Let's give it up for Stella. Hey, y'all show us some love in the chat. Show us some love in the chat. Come on.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Champs Mentoring Program, for having us here today. Rondell, you are doing an amazing job with your organization. My name is Stella Natufe, and I am here to introduce to you a talented group of amazing young performers. The South Shore Drill Team is located right here on the south side of Chicago and has been keeping young people engaged in positive activity for 40 years. To learn more about this wonderful organization, please visit our website at www.southshoredrillteam.org. Again, our website is www.southshoredrillteam.org. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the amazing, the incomparable South Shore Drill Team.
For that wonderful performance by the South Shore Drill Team. Next we got coming up is Lil Biz Saucy. She's a Nest Kid sensation in hip hop. She raps, she sings, and she writes everything. You can follow her. You can follow her on TikTok and Instagram at Lil Biz Saucy. Type that saucy in the chat.
What's good, y'all? It's Lil Biz Saucy, an 11-year-old rapper from out of the Shy. Know what I'm saying? Let me just do a little something for y'all, and then we're gonna get started. Trying to gas me up, no foot on the gas, trying to pass me up, now I've been in the lab. I'm going shopping, I'm popping out tag. Get on these tracks, how get in my bag. What? DJ, drop the beat.
What's up, y'all? It's Saucy. You know I'm back, like always. Now look, what we do with a check? We run it up, okay? Run Stay running a must, stay running a mess. Run the check, run it up. Look at my diamonds, that's camera cut. Need about 100 to have some fun. Run it up, run it up. Spit it facts on fact, put it fast on tracks. Cause max on max, I'm drip like splash. Need about 100 to have some fun. Go to the store and get honey buns. No new shoes, you a funny one. That's not a joke. Fly like a flight, so that is whoa. I spent the many bands, bought some steak in a rack of lambs. Stack my racks like a rack of lamb. Ooh, ooh, woo! I could shop till I'm blue. My talent is a stick and glue. I get many, you got a few. Do the math. Got some drip just like a bath. Wet shoes and I leave a path so they follow it. Shot baby in Chicago and find the beat and I body it. Take apart and I hollow it. More rocks than Colorado. Making our female Picasso. Stay saucy, that's the motto. Standing all odds, get a bravo. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Standing all odds, get a bravo. I tell them run it up, so they run it up. Fix my hair, gotta fluff it up, gotta puff it up. Lay my edges, then I brush it up. In the gang, so they rushing up. Too cute, don't need touching up. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Run the check, stay running them up, stay running a mess. Run the check, run it up. Look at my diamonds, that's camera cut. Need about 100 to have some fun. Run it up, run it up. Colder than the winter boot. Got more ice than a winter shoe. Talking to town like this the view. I'm that baby, thought you knew. Get new clothes and be acting new. Don't know who I am, but to get a clue. I'm going 0 for 2. Sounds like go, what you do? Run the check, stay running them up, stay running a mess. Run the check, run it up. Look at my diamonds and the camera cut. Need about 100 to have some fun. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Yeah, run it up. Thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, now give it up a little bit saucy. Yo, that was dope. But next young lady that's coming up from Chicago, her name is Promise. Her name is Promise. I found Mr. Singleton's daughter. She's coming with a prom in her own way. She's dedicated this for the Manley Crew. She's a straight A student. She wants to dedicate this to us. Can y'all give us a visual snaps?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Promise Victoria Singleton. I've written this poem dedicated to the Manley Crew rowing team. Life has its ups and downs, just like the ocean. But in the end, it's always beautiful. With rowing, you're growing and sowing the seed of unity. Pain is temporary. Quitting is not. The past is a lesson for you to grow on. The present is a gift that you have for only so long. And the future is your motivation to keep going. But don't wait to find your happiness in the future when it's your choice to find it now. Your life goes down. Your life goes up. You regret things, you live, you learn, you're human. You have been hurt or are hurting, but that's life, and you're alive. Everything happens for a reason. Your pain makes you stronger. It's truly a privilege to be alive. Row like there's no tomorrow. Take control of those paddles and row with your heart. Go out there and row stronger, harder, and faster. I've had these waves of life knock me down so hard, I didn't think I'd be able to get up. But having the right people in my life and hope, you're going to make it. They say life is short, but it's also one of the longest experiences you will ever have. So live it the way you want to. Don't be afraid for the challenges and setbacks that come in the way. Don't be afraid to use your voice. Words are the most powerful thing you can use. Even if you feel like you're alone, there is always someone there. We are stronger together. Be proud of your skin color and own it. Row and grow through the ups and downs of life.
Check. Y'all heard it here, man. I hope y'all enjoying us. I hope y'all are there with us. Man, this has been a long time coming. We put a lot of work into this, man. Shout out to everybody that joined us. I got my brother Hot Rod here with us. It's your boy DJ Ace, always here with my Champs crew.
I just want everybody, people need to know who this brother is and need to know his story. So I'm gonna get a little personal because Grant Hill turned out to be, over time, one of my heroes. So Grant Hill, I think folks know, is an NBA superstar. But I think he's about the same age as me. I'm a little older than him, but we're not gonna spend a lot of time on that. Well, when I saw him, and we were in college at the same time, and he was at Duke, and then went into the NBA, Rookie of the Year, co-Rookie of the Year. it seemed like everything he did turned to gold. He could just, if he wanted to get that ball, he'd get that ball. If he wanted, I remember this incredible dunk he had in college, and he just had fire and he worked hard. But as I followed him, as his career progressed, he had injuries and hardships. And I want people to know just who this guy is, because he took those hardships and worked through them and persevered and excelled, continued had like comeback player of the year, multiple all-star games. And then I've seen him do the same thing in other areas. In business, one of the first brothers I knew who went into the private equity world, right? And carved away and persevered, and now is a leader there. We see him on TV in sports and broadcasting. We see him in the art space. People don't know this, but he is an avid collector and supporter of Black art. And then we see his heart. And so I was not surprised that he was someone who would invest in this film, make it come to life, believe in it, take his own, make sure that these shoes got around and gave these shoes to Chicago. And so that is who Grant Hill is. He is an athlete. He's a philanthropist. He's a leader. He's another mentor. And more than anything else, he's a bright light. And I'm just so pleased to be able to talk about it.
Family.
Hello, Chicago. This is Grant Hill. And I just want to say, first of all, I hope everybody's well. Hope everybody's safe. We have an exciting agenda today. Of course, I want to say thank you to Champs Mentoring, the Obama Foundation, Pepsi, and FILA for hosting this incredible event today. Thank you also to Representative Danny Davis for his longtime support of this project, and to Vondell Singleton for the work that he's done to pull this all together. Last but not least, a special shout out and thanks to my main man, Chicago native, perennial NBA All-Star and future Hall of Famer, Dwayne Wade, who is also joining in this conversation. I know it'll be a blast, all right, everyone, so enjoy.
What's up, everybody? This is D-Wade. Listen, I'm sorry I cannot be with you guys today, but I'm so thankful for Champs Mentoring, the Obama Foundation, Pepsi, FILA, for supporting A Most Beautiful Thing. This story is an amazing story that speaks to me, and I know it will speak to each one of you young individuals that's in the audience today. I could not be there, but my beautiful sister Trigil is there, representing the family and representing everything that we believe in and that we are. So I hope you guys enjoy yourselves, and hopefully I get an opportunity to get in front of you guys and talk about this film, which I feel is so impactful and so important to each one of you guys, just as it is to me. So enjoy it. All the guys that's in the film, salute to you, brothers. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of it. So hope we see you guys soon.
What's up, big bro, Mr. Singleton? How you feeling?
Yo. Hey, we here. Hey, listen. Type in the chat. Do me a favor. Type in the chat. I'm here. Just type it in. We see you. Type it in the chat. Yep, I see it. It's blowing up. Look at that. I'm here. I can't even see y'all. Y'all moving so fast. So listen to me. We have an opportunity to express ourselves, right, through our work that we do. And in the documentary, A Most Beautiful Thing, these young men made history while they were in high school at Manley, right? And I thought it was really important for me to reach out to some powerful young men that's doing some amazing work in the city of Chicago. So I'm going to start with Mckinley Nelson. Why don't you introduce yourself and let us know about Project Swish, brother?
My name is Mckinley Nelson. I am 24. I turned 24 a couple of days ago, so I'm not as young as Jaquil. I didn't get as big of a head start as he did. Shout out to him. But I founded a nonprofit called Project Swish Chicago, where we use basketball to combat the violence in the city. And as we go on, and I could talk more about strategically our plan on how we developed the project and how we decided to keep the guys off of the streets. But just a quick synopsis of it is we set up shop in all of the worst neighborhoods in Chicago at the highest crime times, and we get all the guys off the streets in times that they would be in danger. We play a little basketball, we eat a little food, we have some deep conversations about mental health, and we just do our best to make the city a better place.
And you're an inspiration of mine, and so is this other young man, Shaquille. So why don't you tell us about Project I Am?
So Project I Am is an organization I started when I was 8 years old. Now I'm 13. So coming up on the 5th year anniversary today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm celebrating, but my organization, Project I Am, builds awareness to homelessness and provides blessing bags full of toiletry items like soap, tissues, socks, things that can help the homeless on a daily basis.
And watch this. How many bags have you put together?
Throughout the 5 years now of doing the organization, over 50,000.
Come on, y'all. Type 50,000 in the chat. 50,000 in the chat. Type it in. 50,000. There we go. 50K. I see it. Good. All right. So here's the thing. In the movie at Manley, they were up against some crazy odds, right? And they described seeing somebody killed in front of their school, right? And throughout our history in Chicago, we hear a lot in the media about the murders. And here we have some real solutions. And can you talk, Mckinley, about just mental health and why has that been so important for you and to you?
For sure. Well, the whole reason or the whole purpose of me developing the foundation was, my mental health state at the time. I actually left school in Cincinnati to come get some professional help here in Chicago because of the mental health issues that I was going through, because of the PTSD and the trauma and the depression that I had from losing a lot of my friends to gun violence, right? Physically being there, seeing some of it, putting other people's pain on top of mine really caused me to develop this foundation. And I tell people all the time, like, we're multifaceted. Of course, when you hear Project Swish, you think Swish basketball, right? But it's a nonviolence project, and we know what comes with violence, right? We know that trauma and PTSD and depression and anxiety and that comes with that as well. So what we want to do is, more so now than ever, since we're not even able to get in the gym, we don't have the same access to a basketball gym that we once had, is to help the city of Chicago heal, especially my peers. So we're taught in these neighborhoods to just kind of man up, right, swallow our problems, and I'm just kind of preaching the exact opposite thing. I want all of my friends to feel better. I want all of my friends to be able to sleep at night, right? I want all of my friends to be able to be vulnerable and talk about their problems, and the same thing for everybody else in the city as well. So that's the purpose of Project Swish.
Powerful. So Arshay Cooper, he wrote a couple books. But the Sugar Water was the first one. Then the second one was A Most Beautiful Thing, which is the documentary. Now, this young man is an author. Tell us real quick about your book.
My book is called I Am, and it's a children's book. My first book, I published it around October 2020. So it's about bullying and helping other young people get through that experience. It's about my experience with bullying through 6th and 7th grade. It was a really tough time for me, so I just wanted to help other kids who may be going through something similar.
Powerful. Make sure you support the book. How can they purchase the book and support you?
You can go to Amazon. You can look up I Am by Jaquil Jackson. It's there. Also, if you have like a Kindle, it's there for like $3.99, so that's a cheaper option. Also, you can go to my website, officialprojectim.com.
Excellent. And how can they follow Project Swish and Project I Am?
For sure. We have Instagram. We have Twitter. It's Project Swish Chicago. It's the Instagram. If you want to support, whether that's volunteer, a monetary donation, it's projectswishchicago.com is our website. Everything that we run, everything that we put out, every event that we have, we post it on social media. So Project Swish Chicago is the official Instagram for the nonprofit, and then mine is Mckinley Nelson.
Come on, y'all. Give it up one more time. Yep. Give some virtual claps and snaps. React. Let's go, y'all. All right. So next up, we are actually about to get ready to introduce our women panelists. And so we have to make sure that we take the time to address something that I think is very important, and that's giving the honor where the honor is due. And I want to say this because I think it's really important. We are in Black History Month, and we would be remiss not to tip our hats to our women. That's right. the women have been the backbone of our communities for decades, for centuries. And men, I'm telling y'all, we got to step up. Yeah, we got to support our women. You know, we got to listen to our women. You know, we have to make sure that we care after our women, especially in our communities, in our homes, and in our environments. So at this particular point in time, we're going to transition to a women's panelist group. And the reason why we wanted our women to speak, because in the documentary, we hear the powerful stories about Preston's mom, about Arshay's mom in a documentary. And I felt like it would be really important to really hear their voice.
And how you doing? Again, my name is Star. You guys can follow me at Connect the Stars. I am the host for the Panelists. I am so excited to be able to talk and have a conversation with these amazing, beautiful ladies. Like, this is like legacy. This is like legendary. So I am so happy. So Tamara, since you're right here in front of me, my beautiful darling.
Yes, yes.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Like, let us know a little bit about you.
Thank you. Well, my name is Tamara Demery. I am the community champion for Nike. I grew up and was born and raised on Preston Park on 95th on the south side of Chicago. I'm 24 years old. My entire life has just been dedicated to my community, giving back and being close to my family. And since I started my journey at Nike, it's just opened up a lot of more doors and connections for me. So I'm super honored and excited to be here.
Amazing. So I've heard so many amazing things about you, young lady, okay? So I am excited to get into this. So what have been some of the lessons, you know, that you have learned? Like, what has been invaluable for you? Was there anything that stood out to you, especially when you watched the documentary?
Yes. So to answer your first part of the question, one of the most valuable things that I've learned was to always pay it forward, give back, no matter what. And it doesn't have to be in the sense of something materialistic or monetary. It could be your thoughts, your ideas, your time, just sharing a post, you know. As long as you're being a tribute and added on to making your community and your environment better. That's what I would just really value and take as a creed to myself. A lot of things actually stood out to me in the video. The film, per se, four of the main things. One of them was about how the coaches, they seen value in the boys. They seen something in them, and they took it and they supported them. And me, in my role as a coach, as a mentor, and just like as an athlete at Nike, that's something that we live by nowadays. And still to this day, we're still trying to enforce that with youth, letting them know that they have a purpose. The second thing that stood out to me was how the team took the opportunity to roll and turned it to a positive. They all came from a bad environment. Me growing up on 95th, it was some bad, some good, but I didn't let that affect me. And that's something that we try to enforce in our youth now, that you can't let your environment depict how your future is going to be. The third thing that stood out to me, I have one more, then I'm done. The third
Your
thing,
time, baby, this your show. Go ahead.
The third thing that stood out was the trauma section where they discussed the brain breakdown. So me trying to get more into my role as like a coach and just someone there for youth, I've been taking youth classes, like youth development classes. And how did they say it? Revising the brain, rewiring the brain, learning about the amygdala and the prefrontal core. And it's really important because our kids do face trauma, but they don't really know it's trauma until it's too late, and then they're acting out. And the last thing that I really, really loved was how they all went back. So Arshay, I really loved how passionate he was, and he pushed the whole team to come with him. So they went back, they got back in shape, so they went full throttle, you know. So that was just, it was a lot of life lessons in there that I feel like is real important for everyone to see.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Details. Yes. So you were recently featured in a Nike campaign that went viral. So can we just, get a round of applause for that? Y'all, this young lady is incredible. And I really thought it was really cool, to hear about some of the critical work that you've done. How important are films like A Most Beautiful Thing in changing the narrative for boys and young men of color?
Yes. So being featured in the film for Nike, that was an honor. a lot of people work for Nike, and then that just goes to show that no matter what you're doing, someone is watching, and it's always just be good. I really believe more films like how this one was created need to be put out. Young men, young black men are portrayed negatively. There's always some type of trauma-based movie. Something bad has to happen, and then the message come out. Throughout this movie, you understood the message, you got the story without there being anything bad. You know, the messages were still clear. There was a lot of messages in between, and the men that were in the film were positive role models. So a lot of more young boys can look up to that. They can have something better to look at.
Okay, amazing. So I have one final question. So just from your perspective of being a mentor, I'm not sure if you're a parent or your mom.
No, but lately I've been taking care of my nephew. So I have a 9-year-old nephew that's like my right hand man. So he was in the video with me. A lot of people don't know that, but that's who I've been with.
Okay. So would you give me some advice, if you have any, of maybe young ladies, raising young men, especially in our urban communities in Chicago?
Yes. So just off of my own personal experience, I would say advice to young mothers raising men: be a support system, expose them to new things, and listen to them, make them talk, not always just, forcing it. Be a best friend. A lot of young men, they're compelled to just holding in feelings. They don't really get the opportunity to open up. Like, they're told that it's wrong, you're supposed to be like this strong person. But if they're embraced and they know it's okay to be, not saying so soft, but to express themselves, then that's the advice I would give.
That's actually very incredible advice. It is very important for everything that you just said. Let them express themselves. That's amazing. Well, can you let everybody know where they can follow you, where they can reach you, give them your information?
Yes, so I have an Instagram. It's Tamara_Renee, RENEAA. I'll drop it in the chat. I've been watching the chat. You all are amazing, by the way. And I'm always at the store on 85th and Cottage Grove. So literally when you walk in, sometimes I might just be standing at the front talking. So just do Instagram.
That was amazing. Now, as far as the chat, my eyes aren't that good. I would love to, talk to you guys back and forth and kind of see what you're saying, However, my eyes aren't that well. But I would love to get into our next panelist. I have Dr. Mahalia Hines, which is Common's mom. She is amazing. She is the founder of Common Ground Foundation. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself and kind of let everyone know how amazing you are and all the wonderful things that you're doing?
Okay. Good afternoon. First, I want to say congratulations to you all for putting this on. I think it's great. It's been great so far. I've been watching it from the very beginning. I was an educator for 35 years. And after I retired, I sat on the board for 4 years. So I've always been involved with children all of my life, because that is something I'm passionate about and something that I love. And I always tell people, before I was Common's mother, I was an educator, and I love children and always worked with them. I even had daycare centers. Right now, I am working as the president of the Common Ground Foundation, which is a mentoring program. Right now, we have about 300 kids in there, and we'll be expanding. And in addition to that, we just opened up a school, and we also have a freshman academy program, which gets kids ready for high school. But the things I've done, I could only do because of the great people around me.
That's amazing. Can you hear me? Okay. So in the documentary, your son, Rashid, known by most as Common, is the narrator and the executive producer. What has it been like for you to raise a son that has found a way to contribute to the rich culture of Chicago?
Basically, I often tell people that it's been a blessing, but the biggest blessing is who he is, not what he does. Whether he's an actor or rapping, that's his profession. But who he is a spiritual really good son, a loving friend, and a good person. And that's what I'm most proud of. If he never acted, if he never rapped, I'm fine.
It's amazing. As a mother, how were you able to teach and support him through his development? What advice can you give to mothers who may have difficulties with raising teenage boys, especially if there's no father in the home?
Okay, basically, my thought was to raise someone that someone would take if I died. I don't know why I thought like that. My mother said I always had an old soul, but I wanted to make sure that if something happened to me, somebody would want to take him, not have to take him, but want. That was the first thing. The second thing is I raised him with the principles that I would want my husband to have or a man that I was dating to have. So that was very important to me. I wanted to make sure that he epitomized the kind of man that I wanted in my life. So I started very young with that. He had to open doors for me at the age 6. He had to pull out chairs from 6 on. He never entered into a door without opening it for me. He had to write out thank yous when people gave him things. So it was just little things, teaching him love and respect for women, but for himself.
That's amazing. We definitely need to spread that message to so many more mothers that are maybe in that situation to teach their sons, because it is very important. The way that they're raised is how they grow up. So my last question. So we see this with Arshay taking the role of a father to his younger brothers because their mom had her own personal struggles. You were a principal for many years here in Chicago, as you stated. So what advice would you like to share with educators and administrators about the importance and power of providing a good education?
I want to say 2 things. I'm going to answer your question, but one of the things that really stood out for me in that movie was don't make judgments about people if you don't know their background. If you don't know where they're coming from, don't just assume, okay? Get to know them. An advice I would give to educators is the one that I gave to my teachers, that teach this child as if they're your own. Love this child as if they're your own. But more important, teach them. They need to be educated. You're not here to save them. If you educate them, they can save themselves. That's it.
I love that. I mean, I love that, I love that. So thank you so much for being with us. Before, hopefully you hang out with us. Do you... Okay, cool. Can you tell everybody where they can find you, follow you, what you would like to let them know if there's anything up and coming that you want them to be a part of? Go ahead and, give them that information now.
Okay, basically, Tiffany will come on next, who is our program manager, or she's coming on, and she will bring you up to date. But you can always go to infocommonground.org to find out anything or to request, or go to our website, and it will keep you abreast of some of the things that are coming up.
Thank you. Well, as you stated, Tiffany, you're up next. I would like to introduce Tiffany Walker from Common Ground Foundation. Tiffany, can you go ahead and introduce yourself again and kind of let us know more information about yourself?
Common Ground Foundation. We appreciate the opportunity from the Champs Mill Mentoring Program. My name is Tiffany Walker. I am the Program Director for the Common Ground Foundation. I have been with the program since the first group of kids were brought in through our summer camp that we do annually in Wisconsin. We are a youth mentoring program. We support high school age students, and we pretty much are getting them ready for life after high school.
Okay, so it was kind of low, and I think you actually answered some of my question, but I'm gonna go ahead. No, it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and ask it anyway. Can you share with everyone the work you do with Common Ground Foundation and how you have worked over the years to provide academic, social, and emotional support to the Common Ground Foundation students?
Okay. So the Common Ground Foundation, I'll reiterate it again, is a youth mentoring program. We work with high school age students from 9th to 12th grade. Dr. Hines and her son Common have created these core pillars that we use. We incorporate them into our mentor sessions, into our outings, our group discussions. Just a few of them, we talk about financial literacy, healthy living, character development, technology, global leadership, and social justice. It's a couple of more, but those are some of the core ones we focus on. But we break it down on the 9th and 10th grade level. We're really working on SMART goals and helping them to execute those goals. And by the time they get into the 11th and 12th grade, we're really focusing on college readiness and career readiness. So helping them to apply for college, helping them to kind of find out what their passions are so we can kind of direct them into a field once they get out of school, maybe a specialty school or a trade school. And then for your second part of your questions, the things we do for the social, emotional part, we do mental health check-ins, especially after this past year living in this pandemic. We felt it was super important just to kind of check in with our mentees, especially after in-person classes were canceled and they lost a lot of their milestones, prom, homecomings, and things of that nature. And then on top of that, all of the social unrest that happened over the summer after the murders of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Then we had voting concerns after that. So we really have just been providing them a space to where they can come in and share their thoughts. And we kind of just help to guide them through it. But really, they're helping one another in those discussions.
And I like to say that you guys are doing an amazing job because I have met some of the students who have went through your program and they're phenomenal. Seriously, like I actually have one of them that I mentor now pass and he's the college level. But I wish it was there when I was in high school. That's all I can say. Like I really wish this program was there. But the next question. So the founder of Common Ground the Common Ground states, give children a sense of hope, self-esteem, and love that will better the world. Why do you think we should be like Coach Ken Alpart and Coach O. Gorman, who wanted to create an opportunity of hope for the next generation?
I think it's important because there was a quote that I heard, and I don't remember which cast member said it, but it was something along the lines of, how can they be something they've never seen? Right? So that's exposure. That's a huge thing for us with Common Ground. Dr. Hines is always like, hey, we need to get them in these spaces that they usually wouldn't have access to because they don't know, and some of them may not even know it exists. So really for me, when quoting when quoting Common, I think by giving them exposure and then encouraging them to step out of their comfort zone is helping them with that self-esteem and then knowing that they too can achieve those goals that they didn't think they could achieve before.
Okay. Now, Tiffany, what things come to your mind when you think about the impact that you're making through the Common Ground Foundation and why more people should get involved?
Impact. I feel like for Common Ground, it really is hoping to break generational curses, right? There's a lot of things that we don't know that has happened in our past that affects how we view and deal with things in our current situation. So by having people come back who've had the opportunities to make it out of neighborhoods that we wouldn't necessarily believe they could, they're showing the next generation that it's possible. And I know it's cliche and Common Ground is super about this, but it really takes a village, and we really believe in that family kind of motto, like we all are in this together. We really need each other to accomplish those goals. But I think it sets an example. We're leading by example when we do it, because we have mentees who come back now. Like you mentioned a couple that you work with or you've met. They come back to our program and they want to volunteer. Or better yet, they're creating programs at their respective schools or just helping out in ways that they can in their community because of the impact Common Ground has had on them.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I definitely appreciate speaking with you and you answering our questions. Tiffany, before you, well, hopefully you'll hang out as well. But can you go ahead and let everyone know where they can follow you, if there's your personal social media or website for the foundation? Go ahead and give everybody the information.
www.commongroundfoundation.org. So they can find information about our programming there and some of our upcoming activities. And on our social, we can be found on Instagram and Twitter at Common Ground FND, and then on Facebook at the Common Ground Foundation.
Thank you. That's amazing. So to all of our students who are in who are watching and in the chat, please take advantage. Like, look these programs up. These women are phenomenal and they do so much. Try to get involved. I just want to encourage you to communicate with them, reach out to them, take advantage of them. And speaking of the next person who does so much, I've had the honor of working with her before, multiple times. She's amazing. So, Trigale Wade, can you go ahead and introduce your foundation and yourself and let everyone know about your organization?
Yes, first I want to say hi, Star, to my village. All you guys are on. I'm so excited. I haven't seen you guys in a while. A little COVID-19 got us, just got me missing all you guys. So yes, America's Big Sister Foundation is an organization that started in 2017. The organization has two programs. Real quick, one is All Girls Matter, where we do conferences for all teen girls. Just so excited to bring that whole women empowerment to the teenage girl, right? That was really, really big for me. In 2019, we branched off and started our mentoring program called Go Girls. And those are our motherless daughters, our motherless teen daughters. And so we're really excited about that mentoring program that we've been able to launch. And when we launched in 2019, we didn't know COVID was going to come. So it's been some challenges, but some of my girls are on. We have them in Chicago, Illinois, Kansas City, Houston, Texas, and Miami, Florida. Just been really excited to be a part of mentoring those girls. And yes, that's America's Big Sister Foundation.
Thank you. Again, everyone, make sure that you guys are following these ladies and these organizations. I do not want you guys to log out without listening to them and getting this information. But your girl, in the documentary, we saw how Alvin was very protective of his younger sister and his family in general. How would you describe your relationships with your siblings, and do you relate to Alvin?
So I have, I don't know, the Wade name kind of struck anyone, but I have the opportunity to have, helped and been a part of Dwayne Wade, which is, of course, the NBA player, most amazing young man. But it's just one of those things where you find yourself in those disadvantaged spaces. So of course, for me, when you're in these underserved communities, depending on your role, my role was to be his mom to a degree, right? We kind of find ourselves as the older siblings to become the protector. And yeah, absolutely, this is the space that we found ourselves in and I found myself in. But, I always say that disadvantage became my advantage. Growing and being in the world, that disadvantage changed and shifted my life, right?
Thank you. Yes. So America's Big Sister organization emphasizes the importance of young ladies getting mentored. And also the role that you took as a big sister, mom, second mom to your younger brother, Dwayne Wade, who is now who is now the executive producer, an NBA legend, but still your younger brother. What did you see in him back then that has contributed to his success? And what would you say to mothers, other big sisters, aunts who are responsible for raising young men?
Said this in a show years ago. I didn't know what he was going to be. I'm clear when I looked at him, I didn't say, oh, this is going to be an NBA player. This was my baby brother, for God, so I just knew he was a shy kid. He needed to be protected. He couldn't speak for himself. We actually was in a household where my mom was a heroin addict. And so being on drugs and being incarcerated, having a lot that she dealt with in life, here's what I saw. I saw things. And in my mind, my thing was, I didn't know what he was going to be, but I knew what he was not going to be. if I have any young people that's listening to me now, you may not know what you want to be, but if you begin to make choices around what you don't want to be. So no, I know he wasn't going to be a drug dealer. That was the easy way in, right? My house was my house was the trap house. That was easy. It was bigger. It was better. He definitely needed more. And yes, that was basically my thought. So if any women or any woman that is raising any young boys, that is my thing to them, is to get into a position where you're positioning them and letting them know, listen, your choices is going to matter when you get out there. Your choices will matter. And if you begin to make the choices on what you're not going to be, I believe is going to set you right up on who you're going to be. And I am so grateful that my little brother was able to make some decisions down the line, that positioned him to be who he is today. So yes, that's my thought, connect him with someone as well, a male mentor. That was important. That although I did what I can do, there's this shift that happens that I feel that in the African American community, we sometimes don't do, and we don't shift from raising boys to raising men. And I love what Dr. Hines said. I began to raise him like I wanted to. So it's a time we have to raise him up now as somebody's father. You have to now raise him up as somebody's husband. And here's where that shift happens. So it's a space where we have to shift. And I think that's the part for me, when it came down to my little brother, we have to shift. You're going to be somebody, and we're going to have to make sure that, what we see in our past, that we do the generational curse, we kill it now.
I love that. I really do. Like, that is so important with you, what you just said, as well as, it's just important. The decisions, that was the main thing that I heard that you say, helping him to make the better decisions. So Black History Month is often a time to reflect on our great heritage. What would you say to society about the importance of appreciating the contributions of African Americans like the greats that we are celebrating today?
Know where I'm going if I don't know where I've been, right? If I don't know where I've been. So my encouragement to the young people today is to become students of our history. It's America's Big Sisters. I didn't call it Black Big Sisters on purpose, because Black history is American history, right? It is American history. And although they're not putting this information out there for us to know, I need us to become students to it and know that, listen, what's going on, our contribution in society is the reason why society is what it is today. And we got so much to be proud for. We got so much to be proud of. So I tell my girls all the time, you're a queen. We're your queen. That's where we come from, our ancestors. Let's go. But please do your research, be a student to it. You'll walk just with your head a little bit more higher than before.
Amazing advice. Ladies, I hope you guys are listening in that chat. Please, I can't, say it enough. These women are phenomenal. They have paved the way. Please pay attention to their messages. Trigel, hopefully, again, you'll hang out with us as well. But can you go ahead and let everybody know where they can follow you and get more information about your organization and your mentorship program?
Absolutely. America's Big Sisters with an S, America's with an S, Big Sisters with an S.com. You can go to our website. We are on Facebook and Instagram on America's Big Sister Foundation. Follow us there, or you can just follow me, Trigel Wade Johnson now. I'm newly married. Yay.
Congratulations.
Thank you. You can follow me on Facebook there as well.
Thank you. Awesome. Ladies, I'm going to introduce our last panelist, definitely not least. But before you go, I do want you to give your information, your social media information one more time before we leave. So if you guys can just hang on tight, please don't leave, because I definitely want them to hear from you one more time. Adrian Curry, hello. I am well. How are you today?
I want to say hi to some people I haven't seen in so long. Trigel, and you got married. I can't believe it. And Dr. Hines. Oh my God. Hi. So yes, this is like a reunion for me.
Yes.
Attached to, and you are implementing in our beautiful Chicago.
Sure, I'm the Senior Director for Community Relations for the Chicago Bulls. And so this is my second season with the Bulls, and under Community Relations is like the just sort of traditional community relations, but also our Chicago Bulls charities, player appearances, and also alumni as well.
I would like to know what gave you the courage to want to be a leader of a major sports organization traditionally dominated by men? And do you see any similarities on how the first African American row team had to build their courage despite it being primarily dominated by white men and women? So it's kind of a two-part question.
So I don't think I needed courage, because I always feel like I belong anywhere, and I don't feel like I need to ask for permission or anything like that. But I mean, I think sometimes when you think a little bit more and you get a little bit more insight on why things are the way they are, then you really feel like, wait a second, I belong here as well. You know, one thing I noticed when you go with sports teams, a lot of white men, okay, for sure, a lot of people that are white, but I think a lot of it is because of the structures that have been set up. I mean, the traditional way to get into any professional team has always been to do an entry level has been like, have you had an internship? And you got to think like in general, our communities, I would say, aren't always able to do a low to no paid internship. So this is why you see there's so many people that are white in industries such as sports, fashion, other places like this as well, because you need to have parents that can back you up and then are able to support you if you're doing an internship for no cost. And after that, you start seeing like, you know, even when I had positions open on my team, you get a lot of people that are like, oh, this kid went to school with my kid and he's a great kid, and all these kind of conversations and everything that happen. And you're like, they don't know what they're doing though. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like it's not like anyone's better or knows more than we do. It's just that they've got the structure's been set up in a way that it's more advantageous for them to get in there. And so that's why it's been like this. And so it's tough, because how do you change this? But I think like we're trying our best to really reach back. And when we have internship opportunities, if we have openings and things like that, our HR department's fantastic about really pushing to try to say like, you got to get more diversity in here, because it's the same thing. We're not on boards. We're not doing internships that are for free and things like that. And then they're like, well, couldn't find anybody. You're like, yeah, because you're putting these things in place that, you know, really block out a whole generation and a whole group of people.
Thank you. That's amazing. So, ladies, once again, can you guys go ahead and we can start with you, Adrian. Can you give us your social media information and where they can find you as well? But give me 1 second. Everyone that's out there listening, go ahead and get your pens and papers. I need you to write this information down. I need you to go ahead and make sure that you are reaching out, that you are trying to become a part of these organizations. So I'm going to give y'all 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Adrian, can you go ahead and please give them your information of where they can follow you and more information about your organization?
Great. We just started our social media for on Instagram, specifically for the work that we're doing in the community. So it's just Bulls Community. You can find us on Instagram. It's Chicago Bulls CR. And then on our website, it's bulls.com/community as well. We have stuff on there. There's a lot of things we do that we don't put out there either, but we're actually trying to make to do more and more that's on there. But a lot of times we're kind of silent and kind of quiet. Sometimes we don't always put everything on our website, but if you want to follow what we're doing, that's a good place to start.
Thank you so much. It was amazing having you. Dr. Mahalia or Tiffany or both?
You unmuted me. Tiffany will provide the information. I'm going to ask your permission to leave you all with one thought, since she'll provide that information. Is that okay?
Sure, it's okay.
The only thing I want to say, which honestly came to me last year, in light of everything that's happening, is that we must start to teach our kids how to thrive, not just survive. I came up with a mother who encouraged me to go to college. In my generation, we graduated, we were supposed to keep a job for life. We've got to teach our kids different. They have to become financial savvy and political savvy. We need to change our words from survive to thrive. That's it.
And to that, okay, yes and amen. Tiffany, if you would like to go ahead and give us the information.
Our social media. So I'll start with our website. I'm sorry. So our website is www.commonground, foundation.org. And I did put it in the chat, and I'll do it again for you. And then Instagram and Twitter, Common Ground FND. And then we can also be found on Facebook as The Common Ground Foundation.
You can hear me, right? So we're America's Big Sisters Foundation on Instagram, America's Big Sisters Foundation on Facebook, and then you can find us at www.americasbigsisters.com. And Tony's doing a good job at putting it up there in the chat.
Perfect. Thank you all so much, ladies. I hope to connect with you all. I would love to be assistance to you guys in any of your future endeavors, but I would just, want to say thank you so much for taking the time out to be with us today. This was amazing. And thank you. Is there anything else? So again, my name is Star, and you guys can reach me at Connect the Stars with 2 R's on Instagram. Thank you. And this was amazing. It's been a wrap. See you all later. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Chiquilla.
And providing the space, because that's what we need, right? We need the space. Everybody knows what's happening. Everybody knows what's going on. But you don't have the space to cultivate and to grow, and to change that narrative. So we all about changing the narrative. If you with me right now, put change the narrative in the chat. Put change the narrative in the chat. It is your boy, the one and only DJ Ace, Champ's official DJ, and I'm checking in with my brother DJ High Rod, Power 92, Chicago's very own. All right. We're gonna get ready for the Queens video, y'all. We got the Queen. Shout out to.
Good morning. My name is Rhonda Cohen, and I am the founder of Queens from Gary Comer College Prep High School. First, I would like to thank Mr. Singleton and Champs for inviting us to engage with you all today. Queens was founded in 2014 at Gary Comer College Prep as a girls mentoring group to uplift, inspire, educate, and encourage young women. Queens stands for quintessential, unique, educated, esteemed, noble sisters, and that is exactly what we are. I am so proud to have been a part of Queens for the last 7 years since I've been at Comer, and I'm excited to see all that we will do and where we will go in the future. Thank you.
Listen, it's here, man. So let me bow to you guys, man, for making history. The first all-black high school rowing team. And we have here live Brother Preston Granberry. So I want everybody in the chat to show this brother love, because he's a part of legacy and a part of black history. And man, you sharp.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So I got my brothers that are part of the cast there in the Zoom, and we're going to get ready to spotlight them. But man, can you just tell us, like, what went on in your mind back in the day when y'all was going to get that pizza?
Oh man, actually we was going for the pizza. That was pretty much it. We had no idea what we was getting into, what the sport was about, the culture of it, or the history that we was making at the time. But to this day, I'm glad that we did. It was a life-changing experience. It was great. Me and the guys, we developed a bond that's unbreakable to this day. 20 years later, we still keep in contact. We still see each other. We have a group chat that we talk to on a regular basis, laughing, joking. Just the same as you seen us in the movie, man. We do the same thing in the group chat every day. Hey, happy birthday to my boy Arshay, man. His birthday was yesterday.
Oh, happy birthday, Arshay. That's a good brother.
For sure, that's a good man right there. Happy birthday, my boy.
Hey, and he's in the Zoom, and we're going to be able to pull them in here shortly. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Mary. Mary, you are amazing. Thank you for breathing life into this powerful story. And the first person to actually tell me about y'all documentary was Grant Hill. We were at the All-Star Weekend last year on a Friday, and he came up to me. We were at the game. It was a few of the Champs Young Men all-in shirts, and he said, "This is your program?" He was like, "Wow." He said, "Hey, man, do you have a business card?" Now, this is Grant Hill asking me for a business card, right? So I'm like, "Yeah, I have a business card." He said, "Listen, there's a documentary coming out called A Most Beautiful Thing. I'm going to send you the email with the trailer. I want you to check it out, but I want you guys to be a part of it. We want to do a big premiere. Now, this is right before COVID, y'all. This is right before COVID happened. And the amazing thing, it's been like one of the, I think, rallying cries around what we're doing for Black History Month. It's such a powerful story that I've had to run it at least 10 times. I watched the documentary at least 10 times. Like, I can quote some of y'all throughout the whole documentary. Just amazing, amazing story. And we have some wonderful news that I want to share with everybody. Come on, listen in, listen in, listen in. So, y'all know we have a documentary. Well, word on the street is we just got approved, watch this, y'all, for Amazon Studios. We got a script-based web series coming around the A Most Beautiful Thing. Hey, y'all, come on, react in the chat. Show some love in the chat, man. This is incredible history that we are part of. And so we're privileged to have this happening and just everything on the horizon from this powerful story. And so, man, how does that feel to you?
Man, it's dope. It's definitely dope. Mary gave us a call maybe about a month ago and explained to us what was going on and let us know that Amazon Prime was interested in turning the documentary into a series. So, you know, that's amazing, man. They're actually making us executive producers of the film, me and the rest of the guys. So, man, I appreciate it. It's love, it's gratitude from this end, man. It's a dope experience.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So we do have our brothers here with us. I can see our brothers that's live. And so I'm going to start with Brother Arshay. And I got to say something before Arshay shares. But, you know, when the documentary came out, he was the first person in the summertime to come to the Virtual Champs summer program. And he spoke to the young men. And I just go back and say, you know, what if he decided not to write Sugar Water or A Most Beautiful Thing? Will we even know this story? You know what I mean? So I just think, like, man, hats off to you. Happy birthday, brother. Come on in, man, and talk to us. Brother Arshay Cooper, everybody.
Thank you, Mary Mazio, and to my team and our producers on the call. And it's always great to see Danny Davis, you know, putting in work, and he's always with us. So I'm super excited. You know, I wrote this book, you know, years ago, and, you know, it started with speaking at a school right there in the Marcy Projects in Brooklyn. And this kid started crying in the middle of the speech, and he said, "My mother just got killed in this building." And it crushed me to hear what he was going through. And right away, it took me back to when I was 14 years old, when I failed the 8th grade, you know, and that year was my greatest depression. You know, my mother was a drug addict, and I've never said the word dad a day in my life. And my teacher told me I was going to die before I was 18. It was rough. It was hard. And right away, I helped that young brother, and I work with him. But I know there's many young people with the same story, and also with the same resilience, right, to overcome. So I thought it was very important to put this story out to the world, to let the world know that talent is everywhere, but it's access and opportunity that is not. And when opportunity presents itself, what are the systemic obstacles? What are the hesitations and the fears and doubts, and how you overcome it? And I'm so glad that this story is out there to the world, and Mary put it on film, and there's many more opportunities after that.
Yeah, man. Thank you again. And again, shout out to Mary. Shout out to 50 Eggs Films, taking over the world. And for people to really like hear how it all happened, like how that connection was made to actually get this into production. Can you just talk a little bit about how did this even come about, this documentary?
Yeah, I'm from Chicago, so I'm a hustler. You know, we all go-getters. And when the book was out, I'm tweeting out to Will Smith, Steven Spielberg, Ava, hey, come on, somebody, tell this story to the world, and it's not just our story. Chicago have many great stories, and took 20 something years to tell. And, and Mary read my book, and she tweeted, "Hey, Arshay Cooper, great story." And right away I was like, "Would you ever?" And she said, "Yes," right away. And, I said, "But you have to come to Chicago, and you have to see who we are and how we live and learn the history of the West Side of Chicago and about our parents and grandmothers who moved there, who dealt with a lot of trauma due to Jim Crow laws and segregations, and how we ended up where we are today, and how we work together to try to fix it." And she was on board, and she called Grant Hill and Dwayne Wade and Common and everyone else, and now the impact is just so great. I mean, we're hearing from people in Europe, and Australia, and Canada, and now starting rowing teams, right, based on what they saw in the film, and it's truly a most beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I see Brother Alvin. What's up, King? I see you there, man. Powerful. Man, I'm blessed, man. Glad to be here amongst giants. So in the documentary, you were very, very vulnerable. And what I gather is you're a family man. When it comes to your family, you don't play any games. And yeah, and so, I think it's important for people to kind of hear, like, how did, like, what you experienced at Manley, and like being in a neighborhood where you traveling across gang territories to get to school. And everybody who's not from Chicago, I want you to listen in to this, because they travel across all types of gang territories, and the documentary did a great job with even just the graphic of streets, but for you were able to kind of settle down and kind of like jump into that unity piece of this whole rowing team. But can you just talk about how difficult it was for you, how much of a challenge it was for you to leave the streets and be a part of that at first?
Yeah, it was, at first it was kind of challenging because that was all I knew was the streets, was the guys out there, I really wasn't big on making friends and things like that. But when I did eventually come and join the rowing team, I seen a different type of love and a different type of brotherly love, than what I seen from the streets. So making that transition, it was definitely a little difficult, but not too much, because I found a home with these guys right away. It took a while to build a relationship with the guys in the gang that I was calling my brothers. So in the gang, being in the gang doesn't, it's not what people think.
Yeah, no question. And I think like the life lessons that you were able to kind of share throughout that process was also really, really powerful. I want to go to Pookie G. What's up, brother?
What's going on,
Blessings
man?
to you, man. And that was a scene. That was a scene. We got to talk about this, right? You guys get in the boat. Arshay catches the crab, and you went ballistic. And we're not going to repeat these words because this is PG. But can you just talk about that experience? Was it because, like, man, you were afraid, or was it because you were really trying to motivate them to kind of push forward?
It was a little bit of both. Afraid because it was our first time in the boat, our race. And the second was motivation, because coming from the streets or the city, you have to get loud and use some profanity to get someone to pay attention and focus. So it's more just the recovery that I was looking for the team, Arshay.
You said in the documentary, Malcolm, like they called you 6'5" for nothing. Like, so everybody's playing football, everybody's playing basketball, and that's the thing. So here it goes. Exposure, education, empowerment, and exposure is what we talk about in the Champs program. And it's very important. It's very important that we're able to expose our youth, especially in the inner cities, right? On the south and west sides to opportunities. But how did that make you feel, Malcolm, when they were saying, oh, he's 6'5" for nothing? Y'all ain't on nothing, man. Y'all getting in the boat. You know, what was going on in your mind, and what kept you anchored to want to keep going?
How you fellas doing, man? It's Malcolm, man. How y'all doing, man? Yeah, it was tough, man. You know, I grew up around a lot of hoopers, man. My brothers was ballers, man. You know what I'm saying? My older brother was baller, man. My friends were hoopers, man. So it was one of them things where if you wasn't balling, you weren't in the in crowd. If you weren't playing football, you wasn't in the in crowd. So, you know, me being able to hoop a little bit wasn't good enough, you know? So they would look at me and say, man, Malcolm, you tall, man. Why you ain't playing? Because, you know, everybody in their mind had that thought that, you know, you get into the league, you're able to take care of your family, you're able to get your family out of these ghettos that we reside in, man. So, you know, everybody took their, you know, stress out on me. You know, I'm the tallest out of my family. All my brothers are short. So they looked at me as the meal ticket. They like, dude, you got to get us up out of here. So, you know, me being tall was a gift and a curse until I was able to find rowing. And when I found rowing, I was still able to use those abilities, my height, the same way I would use it in, you know, basketball or football, man. But like Alvin said, man, it was more common, man. It was one of those brotherhoods where you didn't have to, you know, succumb to peer pressure and somebody force you to want to be a part of something, or you just was doing it because you felt like you wanted to please your family or your friends or something like that. So, you know, for the most part, man, you know, it was a joy, man. It was a refuge. It was a place I can go to and actually feel comfortable and feel accepted and, you know, enjoy my friends and have fun, man, the way I really wanted to, man, without none of the peer pressure and problems of the streets, man.
Yeah, no question. Preston, he wanted to kind of allude to something real quick.
Hey, I want to give a shout out. Hey, Pooh, I see you in there, man. I see you, Pooh. Wait for the people, man.
We see you, Pooh.
Y'all sister in here too, man. I see her. As I was strolling a little earlier, I started seeing people, man, that we knew. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. They was a big part of the team. They all family as well.
And one of the people who've really been pushing this is our U.S. Rep, Danny Davis. And I do understand he's in the Zoom. And so we're going to get him spotlighted so he can actually say something. And then we also have Mike Straumann from the Obama Foundation. We also want to get him spotlighted in here so he can add to this conversation. And then on the back end, we're going to talk about some community. So we do have our community panelists. But let's see if we can get U.S. Rep. Danny Davis. How you doing today, sir?
This is Danny Davis, Congressman Danny Davis, and I'm wearing my Manley sweatshirt today in honor of all the guys. And it's really just a pleasure to not only hear, but you know what I like about The Most Beautiful Thing so much is that it's a documentary about the life of young African Americans in urban America, in a big city like the west side of Chicago, with all of everything that you've heard that was wrong with urban America, inner city America. That's it. And in spite of all of that, here they are, still unified, still in contact with each other, still making use of their experiences and letting the world know that it's not so much a matter of where you come from, but it's a matter of where you're going. It's not what your circumstances made of you, but what you made in spite of your circumstances. So I just simply want to congratulate them all. Plus, Rowan, you know, they come out of a neighborhood where there are so many Black athletic stars until you can't name them all. Football, basketball, I mean, Kevin Garnett, Isaiah Thomas, Mark Aguirre, on and on and on. And so somebody mentioned that they weren't a football star or a player or a basketball star. They were doing something very different. And hey, I'm proud to come from the community and represent the community that they come from. I every time I hear a most beautiful thing, you know, my antenna goes up. And whatever it is, there it. And hey, fellas, we are so proud of you in this community until it's not funny. Carry on. I'm going to get one of those jackets too.
I know that's right.
Thank you.
These jackets are fire. Like I just mentioned, we have the Chief Engagement Officer, a great friend. Straw is in the building. What's up, man? What's happening?
Hey, man, every time you call me, you know I'm always going to say yes, but this one was easier than most. You know, the Obama Foundation is, we're bringing the Obama Presidential Center to Chicago, and we want to tell a story there about the fact that you can start from any place, and if you have big dreams and you work hard and you overcome, that you can achieve anything, right? President Obama's, that's his story. And we don't just want to tell that story, we want to give people the inspiration, the tools to make it a reality. And so, you know, this film, it tells the story that the Obama Foundation is all about. You know, and it talks about mentorship. I hope we get a chance to talk about that a little bit later, because it takes that team effort to be able to change. And you know, one of my mentors is here right now, Congressman Danny Davis, who, you know, I was a young kid, staff person in Congress, and he put his arm around me and showed me that I could be something, that I had something in me that was bigger than myself. And so I'm just, I'm overwhelmed by the panel so far. These brothers, you all are literally a living example of what President Obama, what he experienced and what he and Mrs. Obama want to bring to the world. We're bringing the world to Chicago because this is what we want to show them. This is the real story. And so I appreciate that, this rowing team, the West Side, all of that is inspirational. Vondale, and I also just want to thank Dwayne Wade and Grant Hill and Mary Mazzio for believing and taking the risk to tell this story, because it wasn't, you know, I didn't necessarily think when Barack Obama told me that he was running for the presidency that he was going to become president, but I believed in him. And we didn't know that this story, this film, would become a great film, but they believed in you. And the last thing I just want to say to y'all, because I see the boxes back there, is I got my shoe. Yeah. If we were in person, I'd be kicking it, but I don't, you know, I want y'all to see it, so I'm holding it up before I slide it on and Grant Hill and feel it, to create that gift for our people, for our brothers. It's just, you know, this shoe and this film, I just want to say one last point, and I'll let you move on. It's a very high quality. It's true. It's authentic. It's real. It's Black. It's Chicago. And it's the best. That's what is going to happen with the Obama Presidential Center. And one of the things that's so important is I want our kids to understand that that's just natural. The best should be in our community, because that's who we are. So I couldn't be anywhere else right now. I wish I was there with y'all in person, so, you know, we get some daps, some hugs, what have you. But we'll get that all done. Vondale, thanks for giving me a minute. And brothers, thanks for inspiring me.
Absolutely. We love you guys, man. I do want to kind of give y'all just kind of a word that you want to share with everybody who's listening, and thank everybody for tuning in. I mean, hundreds of people have joined the Zoom call from across this nation to be a part of history, to hear history, and to know that we have a story here that we're not done telling. And this is the narrative that we want to create, that you made a decision back in the 90s right, to change that narrative. And now we're talking about it's 2021, and we just getting started. I'm just super excited about the Amazon script series. I'm just like, I can't wait. I'm trying to groom my daughter so she can be an actress, play a role. But the bottom line is, you guys are amazing heroes. We look up to you. We're behind you. We support you. So I want to kind of give y'all an opportunity to kind of just share out any last words.
Thanks, Wendell. No, again, I want to thank all you guys for watching the film, and for Michelle and the moms and Angie and everybody that's on and that was a part of the film, and Bill Hudson, who's one of the producers. I have a lot of high hopes for Chicago. Everything I do is for Chicago by any means necessary. And, some people would say that Arshay was a fearless kid growing up, but that's not true. I was always afraid. But, confidence is not being fearless, but it's being afraid, right? And doing it anyway. And so I would say, whatever's in your way, do it afraid, because on the other side of that choppy water, on the other side of that fear, on the other side of that doubt, on the other side of the racism and injustice and trials and tribulations and dealing with the things that's going on in the community, was an author, was a barber, was a businessman, was a mover, was leadership. And we had to stand up and we had to face it, and we had to trust our teachers, trust the leadership, trust our program directors, and we got to where we need to be. And it's not going to happen tomorrow, but to build that bridge, if we all wake up and lay one brick as perfect as we can, is that showing up at your homeboy's house? It may be breaking up a fight, it may be helping someone with their homework, it may be giving a little bit of your money. But if we all lay that brick, every one of these squares, we will have that bridge tomorrow, and Chicago will be even a little bit better. And so I am looking forward to marching with you guys and to make Chicago the place it should be, and it will be. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So we do actually have a student question. There she go, Arleah Harris from Gary Comer College Prep, right in our backyard. She's an 11th grader in the entrepreneurship class that I'm actually running this year along with Mr. Steele. So Arleah, welcome.
Hi.
How you doing?
It's a pleasure to meet you guys. I got a couple questions. We did actually watch the documentary in class to get some background information on you guys and where you came from. And I could say I really did take that to heart, because I know how it is to be Black and, in the neighborhood that's dangerous, or it's only a lot of bad influences. So I wanted to ask you, okay, there was a lot of sad parts in the documentary where you feel hopeless and you didn't have much to depend on. Despite those odds, it showed that you became preserved and become successful entrepreneurs. What advice would you give that may have lost hope because of how dangerous and unsafe the environments are?
I'll start. I think real quick, we all are born. You're Black, you're from Chicago, with a little bit of fire inside of us. And the question is, how do we get that fire to shine brighter than the fire in the world that's going on around us? And that fire needs to be fans so we can explode. And for me, I would say everything that was missing, I went looking for it. I didn't have a dad, so I got a coach, and I showed up at his house every weekend. Can I help you clean your garage? What can I do? Right? I stayed after school. Teachers, how can I volunteer? Right? The program director, Vondell, what can I do? How can I help? I show up. If you got a row, I got a row. If I got to write an essay to go to a college trip, I'm going to write an essay. Right? All these guys who spoke in this square, I'm going to send them an email. What can I do? How can I intern? So everything that was missing, I had to kind of get up and look for it, and then and trust their words and trust their leadership. And they will get that fire going inside of you, right? And then you do this, and you give back to the next generation that's growing up.
Like Arshay said, that fire inside of you, everyone has it. So when you're feeling like you can't, everything is against you, just keep pushing forward. You can overcome every single thing. I never let anything keep me down. Everything I was going through, it didn't matter. Everything my sisters was going through, my friends, it didn't matter. We kept pushing forward, and you have to do the same. Just be strong, believe in yourself, and doors will open for you.
So my next question is, what things in your life that you think have made you humble the most, and at the end changed you for the better, but it was more like a blessing in disguise, like it just made you better as a person, even though you went through it and it was bad?
You know, for me, when I went to prison, that's where, you know, things changed. You know, I definitely became humble in there, and I started to think more, because you have nothing else to do but think and read and pray or whatever you want to do. So, you know, nothing but time. So that prison definitely humbled me, and you know, that's a place it's not for everyone. You know, it's definitely not for me. I'm never going back. So, you know, that's what humbled me.
Okay, so my last question is, what is the best thing about being an entrepreneur, and what risks have you taken to become a better in life?
Malcolm Preston.
Oh, it's definitely being your own boss and being able to control your own schedule, and actually being able to provide opportunities for people that once didn't have opportunities. You know, I come from a family of 9 brothers and sisters, and who would have thought that I would have been the one who was able to provide employment for my brothers? You know, so we all work together now, and it's a good thing. You know, you bring pride, you know what I'm saying, pride to your family. You know, my mom, she's you know, extra happy about it, you know, and I was able to, you know, help with a little bit of that trauma that we were all experiencing on an everyday basis. So, you know, being an entrepreneur is you know, dedicating yourself to, you know, making sure that, you know, giving yourself the same opportunities and giving your friends and family the same opportunities that, you know, everybody else out here is able to, you know, acquire.
Definitely. One thing that's good about being an entrepreneur, you know, you get to make your own schedule. You know, sometimes it's hard, you know. Sometimes it's hard because I didn't think being an entrepreneur would be that stressful at times, you know. But you know, my family is proud of me. My friends are proud of me, because I'm not doing it for the money. You know what I'm saying? To be like, I pay my guys well who work for me. You know, I pay them well. Sometimes I don't make too much money, but that doesn't matter to me. You know, as long as I make them happy by putting, you know, when they go home and they're paying their bills and taking care of their kids, and they thank me for giving them the opportunity, you know, to make extra money, or, you know, the guys who work every day for me, they just thank me all the time. So being an entrepreneur, you know, is definitely, you know, it's great. It's a great thing, you know. And what I do want to say, my sister and I, Angie, we're working on this nonprofit thing. It's in the very early stages, you know. So what we want to do is bring kids on to teach them how to be an entrepreneur, to teach them how to write a resume, play chess. It's a lot of different things, and they'll be able to come and work with me, because doing moving and things like that. So my sister is spearheading it, but it's in the works, you know, and you know, that's that.
Yes, sir.
It's actually going to contribute to the conversation as well.
Yeah, probably about your age, I knew that I wanted to be my own boss and an entrepreneur. What I would say the steps to take would definitely be just believe in yourself, man. Stay out of trouble and push forward. Self-confidence is everything. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect somebody else to? I currently own a barbershop on the south side of Chicago, Lavish Barber and Beauty Lounge. It's on 78th and Halsted. You can feel free to stop by, man. Talk to me anytime. I'm definitely into the mentoring thing, give you any advice, anything I can do to help. I'm definitely willing to, but the struggle has been hard. You know, I've been to prison. I've been through all different walks of life that could have deterred you or deterred myself from trying to be great. But, you know, you got to dig down and deep. It's going to take a lot. but you can do it. You know, just dig down, stay focused, and believe in yourself. And I guarantee you, you'll come out on top.
Awesome. I want to end by saying that we are working on a program to really bring rowing. Rowing is in Chicago, but I would love for you guys to be a part of this program that we're developing through the Most Beautiful Thing Inclusion Fund to get young people rowing. And for young Black women, there are full scholarships like never before in this sport. And it's going to be academic support and, you know, family support. And we're excited to get this program started post-COVID. And hopefully we can get, you know, Mike, Danny Davis, and Vondell out there on the water too.
Oh yeah.
For you seniors, you know, that's looking to go on prom and things like that, feel free to reach out to me, because you can come and be a mover for me. You know, you can pay for your everything you need to pay for your graduation. You know, keep money in your parents' pockets. So you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, Laveau Movers 016 at Gmail, I think. I'm sorry. But yeah, you can find us on Instagram. If you want to come out, you know, for the summer, if you want to come out before the summer, it's fine. Just hit me there and we'll see where it goes.
All right, Pookie G, Malcolm.
Oh yeah, you can reach me at Malcolm Hawkins on Facebook, and on my Instagram is Mallah Hawk. So MALLAHHAWK.
Okay, mine would be on Facebook at Anthony Hawkins. You can hit me there.
I'm going to navigate the snow. Mike, it's good to see you. Absolutely.
Good to see you, sir. I love you, man.
All right. So at this particular time, I want you to show some love to our wonderful cast of A Most Beautiful Thing. Again, stay tuned, because we got the Amazon, and I see the book. Yes. And we can go out just about everywhere to order a copy of the book. And again, we can't wait to get in the water for it to warm up a little bit. And so we want to play a thank you video on behalf of the Champs program to Fila.
Hey, my name is Vondell Singleton, and I'm the founder of the Champs Male Mentoring Program. That's right. Champs stands for culturally helping and making positive success. And we believe that every young man, every young lady is born to win in every situation in life.
Champs been impactful a lot because it helped me grow and it helped me find myself to understand like what the true meaning of life. You feel me?
I remember when I was a shorty, we didn't really have resources and access to the information that the young kids have here at Champs.
There is light at the end of the tunnel because there's a lot of great kids who just need a little bit of guidance.
Working hand in hand with the Champs Mentoring Program has been an honor with me. Working it next to Mr. Singleton and all the rest of the team, very important to us. And you know, these kids, these young people out in the streets, we're here, we're open, our doors and never closed on you guys.
Hey, listen to where I'm at, y'all. We on the stage getting ready for the Chat and Chew with the crew. That's right, A Most Beautiful Thing, right? We're hosting the largest virtual event in the nation for Black History Month. Are you tuned in? Listen, go to champsmentoring.com and click on the event link and register. Here's why. Listen, we're gonna have the panelists of the movie, the high school rowing team. Matter of fact, they're the first all-Black high school rowing team hailing from the west side of Chicago, Manley Academy. They got a story to tell, y'all, and I want everybody to tune in. Shout out to the man, Grant Hill. That's right, the shoes. We rocking with the Fila. That's right, we kicking it with the Fila this year. My man gave us these pair of shoes so that way we can be a blessing to our program. So as you see all of the young men picking up their shoes, excited about the opportunity to share in this event. And so listen to me. If you are not following Champs, our handle is @ChampsMentoring. Get tuned in now. We are uplifting stories of Black young men everywhere.
I think it's critical for our young men of color to continue to see other young men of color growing up in or near the same neighborhoods they did having tremendous success. So I'm excited to see that. It's an extension of both our missions, Champs and Big Brothers Big Sisters, to go all in to defend the potential of our young people.
It's just an amazing opportunity to bring the city together. Obviously, we have been through a lot of trying times, but to be able to convene a space to talk about best practices and what we look forward to moving forward, and also to be able to celebrate the first African-American rowing team in the country from the west side of Chicago, straight out of Manley High School.
So boys and young men of color, this is your moment to rise up. Now is the time. Why? It's because greatness is upon you. So again, a most beautiful thing. We are live and we are here. Let's go.
Been on the music this morning. All of the staff, everyone's here, man. I really wasn't expecting to see this many folks, man. But knowing Vondell, I know he's capable of doing everything, man. Any and everything. Shout out to all of our brothers that have just joined us, and the ones that have been here. I see Brother Goins, Brother Christopher Goins, big brother of mine. How's it going, big bro? Pastor Wright, we see you, big bro. Good to see you. It's a lot of family in the building.
First, just want to thank Vondell, Champs Male Mentoring, all of this. This is amazing. I've been here most of the entire time and just been scrolling through, seeing all the people and the high level of engagement, all centered around this movie, this documentary. So just humbled and honored to be in the space. Everyone, my name is Christopher Goins. I serve as the Chief Equity Officer at Thrive Chicago, but most importantly, I lead in partnership with the Obama Foundation, the amazing My Brother's Keeper initiative for the city of Chicago. And this story, this conversation is so relevant to the work that we're doing, trying to create an incredible new ecosystem serving boys and young men of color in the city of Chicago. So just great, happy to be here.
All right. We can go to Pastor Wright.
Hey, everybody. I want to start off also by thanking Vondell. I mean, this has been an amazing day. I am so proud of the work that Vondell and Champs is doing in the city of Chicago. Once again, my name is Anthony Wright, and I live, work, and serve on the south side of Chicago. I am the pastor of Just Christ Ministries. I am the executive director of Ring of Hope Youth and Family Services, and I am also a social worker for Chicago Public Schools. Part of the mission of our organization is to service the whole person, spirit, soul, and body. So when we talk about spirit, we're talking about a relationship with God. We're talking about morals, values, ethics that we're trying to instill back in our community. When we talk about the soul, we're talking about mental and emotional health. And the body deals with nutrition and good health. And so we have a number of programs that we offer to minister, once again, to the whole person. We have a boxing mentoring program. We have a double Dutch team. We have a community food pantry. We have a media lab that we're opening up to allow young people to express themselves. And we're in the process of trying to renovate a community mental health facility. Shout out to Champs and the mentees who came out to help us do demolition. So we're doing a great work on the south side of Chicago. And just hearing about the documentary also was encouraging. I had never heard the story before. So when I heard it, I was just so elated that so many great things have been going on the south side of Chicago. And I'm just honored and privileged to be a part of it, working alongside other.
Yes, sir. And man, I was a part of that demolition. Shout out to our young people that came out with us on that day, man. It was really fun. We got a lot done. Lastly, but surely not least, we're going to go to Brother Mike Straumann. How you feeling, number one, and just a brief introduction to who you are again and what it is that you do for the sake of this panel.
I have a job, I have a home with my family, but this has been a difficult time. And so I've chosen to lead with love in order to keep my spirits straight to be able to do what I need to do. So I'm good. At the Obama Foundation, I have a few key initiatives that I'm driving and working to get done. One of them is the My Brother's Keeper work that Chris Goins, Chris is my partner here in Chicago, our work to create safe and healthy communities for our boys and young men of color. I'm also working to make an impact in the city of Chicago through all the activities of the Obama Foundation, the Obama Presidential Center. I think we are, hopefully most of y'all heard that we're breaking ground this year. That means economic development, that means good jobs for our brothers and our sisters. And then also the programmatic work we're doing. We have the Obama Youth Job Corps, where we give high school internship, paid internships to high school students, and our leadership development programming, because all of this is about having you, all the young brothers and sisters who are watching this, having you all see yourselves as the leaders that we see you as, and as the leaders in particular that Barack and Michelle Obama see you as, which is why of all the places in the world, they could have brought this thing to Hawaii. That's where the brother was born. But they decided to bring it here to the community that showed them who they could be as a couple, as a family, and as a society.
Man, hey, so
with
thanks
that,
so
shout
much.
out, born on 79th and King Drive. So I got to talk to my people.
Big bros.
Hey, once again, thank you all for joining. I do have a couple quick questions in light of the documentary. And I'll kind of go with you, Strauss, since you're on the screen. Man, you've been mentored by the greatest, like people that have walked the earth, right? And I remember you telling me the story on how President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama mentored you when you was a young man. Can you just talk about that and just the importance of seeing a documentary like this, how, Coach Applard, he became a mentor and a father figure in a lot of ways to the brothers?
Well, Chris, I think, can talk a lot about, what he's learned about how we don't recognize the mentors that are actually in the lives of our young men and women. We're always looking for someone else to be the mentor, but the mentors are right there and need our support. I was, Arshay says from Chicago, so he's a hustler. I was a hustler too. I was working as a bike messenger and worked in college in the summers, trying to figure out a way to get into one of these fancy buildings, which is where I wanted to, pursue my dreams. I was thinking about going to law school, and so I got a job at a law firm. And a young attorney was like the only young Black attorney there in this big 300-person law firm named Michelle Robinson. And then she introduced me. She became a mentor of mine, introduced me to her fiance, this guy named Barack Obama. And I think the thing that I would say about that relationship that we developed over the years is, they weren't president and first lady then, right? What they did have were values, and they were doing something, and we were on the same journey. They got married the same year my wife and I got married. We were a young Black couple, trying to make it, trying to do our thing. And the one thing I'd say, thinking about my mother, thinking about the Obamas, and the way we've worked with each other, I think sometimes in our community, our people, because we see how much pain and trauma and struggle folks have to deal with, I actually think sometimes we let each other slide. And the one thing I'd say that, mentorship, and that I experience what mentorship and love means, is sometimes you have to, because you want someone to succeed, you have to pull them up and tell them that you're not going to accept what you see. That you see them doing things that you don't, that and we heard this from the mothers and the sisters that were on the panel before, right? They set a high standard. And I think sometimes we don't want to have that confrontation with people because we know how hard life is. We know what they're dealing with. But yet in love, I think we have to hold each other that standard. Michelle and Barack Obama have definitely pulled me up. And I will tell you, in love, I've come to President Obama at times. I remember times during the campaign where I felt like it was my responsibility to tell him that I thought there were things that he could do better.
Wow.
And I think that is just so important. The other thing I'd say for those of you who are in those mentoring relationships, having that high standard also puts pressure on you. Good pressure. You know, there's a brother named Chris Crater who works for me.
That's right.
He sees me every single day. Man, sometimes I don't want to go to that meeting. Sometimes I don't want to stay up and do that work that I need to get done. But I know in the morning, Chris Crater is going to be there looking at me. And if I'm not on point, that's sending him a message, because I've already told him, you know, what I expect of him. So that means he expects that of me. And that has bettered my life. Having that, making those choices has bettered my life, made me a better person, made me a more committed person. And so I think that's where that relationship comes in. And so I guess the one thing I would tell everybody that I've learned from being mentored by Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Valerie Jarrett, you know, all these people is we have to hold each other mutually to a better and a higher standard. And that is only because, and I see someone in the chat talking about iron sharpens iron. That is only because we're in a world that doesn't expect that of us. And so every other message that we're going to get until we change this world is that we are not worthy, that we cannot achieve, that there are things inherent in us that make us not worth being treated respectfully by the police or getting an opportunity to get that job. And so we have to create that for one another. So I just appreciate everything that I'm hearing from the pastor, from what Chris is doing, because you all are setting that standard for everybody else that we can live up to and achieve, because I've seen us achieve it. And that is what I saw in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of Brother Goins, obviously, you know, man, you have left an incredible legacy, not just in the Noble Network or at Butler College Prep, but around the city and around this nation. And so I want you to kind of speak to like the correlation you have in the foundation you set at Butler College Prep. And looking at the film, like, again, like Coach, I believe he didn't really realize what he was embarking upon. As a matter of fact, in a documentary, he talked about how he thought at one point that it was an epic failure. Those are the words that he used. And Chris, you've been able to create, before you left to come over to Thrive and MBK, a pipeline around the educational pipeline for boys and young men of color. And we know it's a 2%, you know, African-American men in education. And so can you just kind of speak to, you know, that legacy and speak to some of the work that you're doing to move this conversation forward?
Absolutely. And thank you, Vondell, for that, just setting up the framework for this question. And hey, again, everybody, and once again, an honor, especially to be sitting here with my brother and friend and a mentor of mine, Mike Straumann as well. I talk to him pretty regularly, and he talks me off a few ledges. Mentoring is so key and important. But I want to start around a data point that a lot of people do not know and understand. And if you know and understand it, put it in the chat, and a thumbs up or whatever. But if a Black student has one teacher in elementary school that looks like them, their likelihood of graduating from high school and going to college increases by 15% if they just have one. So my goal in life is to make sure that Black students, especially our Black brothers, have a teacher that looks like them every year that they're in school, K through 12. We will see trajectories change dramatically when we do that. And what Vondell mentioned earlier, the work that I was doing at Butler, where 2% of the American teaching force are men of color. Butler, we had a staff of 70 people, and I'm proud that it continues, but we had a staff of 70 people, and 48% of our teaching staff, not custodians, not disciplinarians, but 48% of our teaching staff were men of color. And people oftentimes ask, how did I do that? I really don't know. But in all essence, like I'm a Black male, so I was able, more than likely, Black men, if you are targeted with your recruitment for Black men in the classroom, we will typically go work for another Black man. And so that was a huge advantage. But we wanted to take it a step further and create an initiative where we were building a pipeline of more men of color going into the education field, starting with a course that we launched at Butler called Intro to Urban Education that served 20 Black male students at Butler College Prep. And that initiative was highly successful. We had 20 young men in that program, and 11 of them are now in college as education majors. And of that 11 of them, 6 of them received full scholarships. So now we work with My Brother's Keeper and leading the My Brother's Keeper coalition here for Chicago. We have put a stake in the ground that we want to do this and serve the entire city. And how this connects with a beautiful thing is that, like, I think I kept realizing that the coaches that came to Manley to see those young men and started this rowing team, they view those young men as assets. And that's what I think. We don't have a problem with recruiting young men. We have a problem with creating pipelines for them to become what we need for our communities. They're the assets. And that's what I believe that the coaches saw in the young men and created this rowing team. They view these young men as assets, and not any deficit-based language was used in that space. And once again, amplifying the need of teachers and Black male teachers, because we have the assets here in Chicago. We have over 40,000 boys and young men of color in this city. So you can't tell me that we cannot produce 1,000 Black male educators a year. So
powerful. And so moving to Pastor Wright. Pastor Wright, you're also have been a part of CPS as a social worker, and the work that you do with the mental health field and making sure that the needs of, because the impact of what could have transpired with the Manley Crew back then is that they could have went to the streets fully, right, been locked up or dead, and yet they use all of these obstacles. And, you hear about them seeing somebody getting shot right in front of the school. And you hear Pookie G said, that was right across the street from my house. And so can you talk about, during this time of the pandemic, how important, how essential is it that we get help with some of our mental health concerns?
Yeah, thank you, Vondale. When I watched the documentary, I was very impressed, not only by the story of the young man, but growing up in the 90s, it kind of really triggered me again, because I too saw firsthand some of the things that were being talked about. And it really, re-traumatized me all over again. But in terms of, working with young people now in the Chicago public school system, my concern now is the unknown. Because, we know that prior to the pandemic, they were already having mental and emotional issues because of community violence, social injustice, poverty, and what have you. And you throw a pandemic in the mix, and we really don't know what this cabage is going to look like. So as we begin to endeavor to vaccinate people, which is a great thing, to bring people back to work, back to school, my question is, what is the federal, state, and city plan to really begin to address mental health issues as we begin to bring young people and adults back together? So that's really my concern now, the unknown. Because when I talk to kids now, oftentimes the screens are not on, you really can't gauge where they're at. And so I'm really concerned about having a plan to address these mental and emotional issues that we can anticipate that will emerge as we begin to reconnect in our communities. So what I'm trying to do is, as an organization, we're trying to create spaces where people can come, talk about their mental and emotional issues to get some type of support as we begin to re-engage as a society.
Excellent. And so we're going to wrap this because we're going a little bit over time, and we didn't do this perfectly, right? But our heart is in the right place. This
great, man. This has been amazing. Thank you, Vondale. You guys did a great job.
I don't want to leave, but you got to do what you got to do.
Well, I want y'all to just kind of, close us out with the takeaway from the documentary, and what can you share with someone who's listening that can kind of inspire them about the power of hope, that they did not give up. And to see these brothers at the very end holding up their medals, they was like kids in the candy store, right? They went back and got back in the boat, and they said, hey, we have some unfinished business. So what was y'all takeaway?
I'll just say the thing that is inside of you that you are ashamed of, the thing that you feel like you want to hide from people, and the thing you feel like is going to keep you from ever accomplishing the thing you want to accomplish, that is the thing that is the thing that is going to get you, have you overcome and get you to achieve what you want to achieve. You got to grab a hold of that. Don't keep burying it, because every time you bury it, it doesn't go anywhere, and it just turns into either self-harm or harm of someone else, which is the same thing. Grab a hold of it, talk to yourself about it, figure out what it is, and as you go through it, you will begin to achieve things you never thought you could.
That hit a nerve, Brother Stride, because you told me that. So thank you.
I've seen it in you, brother.
Yeah, thank you. Vondell, the thing that I would love to share that really touched me about my takeaway is that we as Black people and as Black men are brilliant, talented, incredible people, and all we need is the opportunity. We're not asking for anything else. And this documentary shows when we have the opportunity, and that's all we need. And we will come through and we will make history every single time. And my goal in life is to just create more opportunities for boys and young men of color and Black people in general. And we will take the world by storm when we're given that opportunity.
You know, as a member of the faith community, you know, what really stuck out to me in the documentary was how these individuals were able to find hope in the faith community. And so I really want to challenge those of us who are part of the faith community that we create spaces and opportunities to engage our community members, especially our young people, beyond the Sunday morning experience. As I said, I grew up in the 90s. My parents had me in the 8th grade. And so I got involved with the gangs, the drugs, and what have you. And it was a faith community, men in the community that really helped steer me in the right direction. So for those young people who are watching, find you somebody positive to connect with, somebody who's doing what you're trying to do, and let them mentor you and help you through the difficult process. You can make it.
We got Pastor Corey Brooks, one of my mentors and truly an inspiration to me. He allowed me to become his youth pastor for about 5 years at New Beginnings Church of Chicago. And I tell you, you won't find a man whose heart beat like his, especially when it comes to the community, y'all. You know, we have in this community panel around the most beautiful thing. And the thing is that they beat these odds because they came together as a community of brothers, and they were able to navigate the streets of the west side of Chicago to make it inside of that boat. And that's why we are here today, because we're talking about how can we influence the community and how can we be a part. And Pastor Brooks, I love when he said, we're not part of the problem, we are the solution, right? We are the solution, we're not a part of the problem. And so with that, I want to introduce my big brother, Pastor Corey Brooks. Welcome, man. How you feeling?
Hey, I'm doing good. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Glad to be a part of your panel discussion. Thankful to be a part of what you're doing. I salute you and Champs doing a great job.
Well, excellent, man. So I want people to interface with who you are. Can you just give a little background about Project Hood and the great work that you're doing in the city at New Beginnings Church of Chicago?
Well, Project Hood started on top of a rooftop. I was on a rooftop of a hotel for 94 days, bringing attention and awareness to the violence in Chicago, trying to raise funds to start this organization to buy that motel and tear it down so we could build a community center. And while on that roof, on November the 20th to February the 24th in 2011, we started this organization to fight violence and poverty. And we organized it around 4 pillars: economic pillar, educational pillar, a social pillar, and a spiritual pillar. And we thought that if we could use those things focus on those things that we could eradicate the violence and the poverty that our neighborhood was experiencing. So we created Project Hood. Hood stands for helping others obtain destiny. And that's what we've been about. We do a lot of work in the community, especially in the Woodlawn community, trying to make sure that we give young brothers specifically the opportunities that they need to advance their lives. So Project Hood is a great organization, but our primary focus is fighting violence and poverty.
And the thing that I love is you're one of the most, probably the most connected community leader in my eyes, at least, in terms of Chicago and really engaging with the people around the environment. Now, when you talk about, just some of the dynamics on King Drive, we're on 6620 South King Drive Avenue. We right next door to a church, and then Parkway Gardens, as many people know as the O Block. And you have tremendously impacted. I just think about, what if you wasn't there? How much more will we hear of the negative? But because you're there, you have helped interrupt a lot of the stories that we don't always get a chance to hear about. So one of the things that we see in this documentary is like Preston. And Preston is actually a member of New Beginnings Church of Chicago. And yes. And so Preston obviously was here with us in person and live. But guys like Preston, I hear about, you're impacting their lives tremendously. Guys who've had some form of incarceration or been to the penitentiary, and yet they come back, and guess who they run into the hands of Project Hood, of Pastor Corey Brooks. You never heard him turn away anybody, no matter what their record was or what their experience was in the past. It's always like you're looking to give a second chance. How important is that to you? And why do you think that you have this innate ability to never give up on people?
Well, it's very important. In 2012, the Chicago Sun-Times wrote an article, the most dangerous block in the city of Chicago, and it just happened to be right there where we are, O Block. And we took that personal. We said, listen, we got to do something about it. We got to create more opportunities. We got to give people more access. We got to get involved in the lives of these young brothers so that they have an opportunity to take care of their families and change the trajectory of their lives. So it became one of the most important things that we've endeavored to do. We set out to make sure that we got integrated and involved in the lives of all the specific gangs in our neighborhood, and in all the criminal justice opportunities that we could get involved in, to make sure that when those incarcerated brothers came back out, they're not going back into the gangs, that they were getting involved in society. So we really work hard to make sure that we create programs, that we create opportunities, and that we give access to young brothers who have been marginalized or who have become victims to criminal activity. It's so important, because if we don't give them opportunities, they're going to continue that vicious cycle. If someone does not interrupt the direction that they're going and say, hey, here's another way to look at it, here's another opportunity, here's another option, then they're going to continue down that path. And so for whatever reason, God has graced me and gifted me with the gift to be able to give brothers chance after chance after chance, knowing that they're going to make mistakes, knowing that they're going to fall short sometimes, but looking beyond all of their faults and trying to see exactly what they need in their lives. And what they need is sometimes they need a father, sometimes they need a brother, sometimes they need a mentor, sometimes they just need an opportunity. And that's what we want to do. I believe that every young man can achieve his heart's desire if he has positive role models, if he has mentors, and if he has all the resources and tools assisting him to become the man that he ought to be. So that's what I know God has gifted me to do, and that's what our organization tries to do.
And that's what you are doing, Pastor. And I want to say this: there are a lot of people that want to help, not sure how to help, and there may be people that don't know. And I think the dream and the hope is that, not only can we get the community center built, but we can get some long-term, careers, jobs, and opportunities to help sustain the great work. So can you just tell a little bit about the vision that you have through Project Hood, and then how people can get connected and involved to the great work that you're doing on the South Side of Chicago?
Well, our vision is much like Champs. We want to take young men and groom them to become the best that they can possibly be. In our case, not just young men, but young women as well. Our whole community, we want to see it transform. So we're attempting to build this community center that will become a model for what can be done in inner cities across America that are facing a lot of violence. We want to have an economic component that deals with business and entrepreneurship to show people how to redirect their lives from a business standpoint. We have social things where we are doing trauma, and we have education available to people as well. We're going to have some hospitality aspects where we're teaching people hospitality and culinary. It's going to be a trade school involved because we realize that some kids are never going to go to college, but they need opportunities. So we're going to provide them trade school opportunities. And then, of course, we got to have the arts, and we have to have sports. So we have a wonderful arts facility with the theater component and a major music studio. As you may know, as many may know, O Block, unfortunately, is known for putting out a lot of rap music that isn't as healthy as we would like for it to be. So we're going to try to take some of those gifts and redirect it and make more positive music and teach them how to produce music and things of that sort. And then, of course, we're real excited about having a gym, 2 collegiate basketball courts where we can do our thing. And at that gym, it has a golf simulator, and it has not only a golf simulator, but you can do tennis there and all that. So it's going to be a wonderful facility, and I can't wait until it's built.
Yeah, and it's like amazing. So you have to. What's the website that everyone can go to and check it out?
The website is projecthood.org, projecthood.org. And we'd love for anybody who's interested in the work that we do to check us out and let us know how we can give you more information if necessary. And again, I want to commend you, Vondell, for doing such a great job with Champs. It seems like everywhere you look up, you see all these young brothers with Champs doing a great job. And I'm so proud of you, and I'm proud of the work that you do. And I hope and pray that this event that you've had today not only gives you greater exposure, but I hope it helps you to facilitate all the things that you're trying to do, because when we come alongside of you, it only helps us, and it helps so many young people. So I hope more companies, more organizations get behind Champs and support you even more.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So one last thing before we let you get out of here about the film. Like, the film is absolutely incredible. Yes. Amazing storytelling. And I think it brings light to some of the issues that are systemic in the west sides and south sides of Chicago that we hear about. But to actually hear it from the horse's mouth, if you will, to allow these brothers to tell their stories through their eyes. But then not only that, for them to kind of buck against the stereotypes and systems and narratives that are out there for black and brown and come out on the other side. You know, we don't often hear the end of the story. You know, it's usually a tragic story that we hear about as it pertains to our boys and young men of color, but they beat the odds, and it's a story worth telling. And so I'm actually glad to have you on here, because I wanted to hear what were some of your takeaways, and having an actual original cast member from the original Manley Academy, a part of the church. Like, what does that mean to you?
First of all, it means a whole lot, because Preston is exactly what we're trying to do. Here's a young man that faced some obstacles, faced some difficulties in his life, but was able to pull it all together against the odds and come out, like you say, on the other side. If we can get people to follow that example, we're going to do a great job. But that documentary, that movie, did such a great thing in telling the story on how just because you fail, just because you mess up, that does not mean that's the end of the story. And I think that's really important for our community, because so many of our young people get caught up in so many situations, and for whatever reason, they don't have people who come alongside of them to get them on a boat team with other people to work out those issues so they can become better. And that's what they need. They need to know that just because you make a mistake, just because you fail, that does not mean that that's the end, that you cannot succeed. And if we can get that story ingrained in young people, our community will be a lot better off.
All right, everybody. This is Pastor Corey Brooks. Any last words you want to share with everybody?
Well, once again, thank you. Thanks to Champs. Continue to do a great work, and I appreciate the opportunity to expose Project Hood.